Handling errors in PowerShell. Let's go. PowerShell has a concept of non-terminating errors. So what that means? It means that the error might throw, as you can see here, there is an error, and then PowerShell just carries on. And the problem is you cannot control how developer designed the commandlet, whether it's set that the commandlet will throw or actually it will write an error. But what you can do, you can manually for each commandlet just say what you want to do. In that case, we say we want to stop. So if I now run this, as you can see, it doesn't get past error. But it will be annoying to do it for each of the commandlets. So what we can do, we can control a global variable called ErrorActionPreference, which by default is set to continue. That means, well, it's the error, I just don't continue. So what we do, we can override this value to stop, and then we don't need to manually pass that value to every commandlet that we encounter. And this is actually the way how you want it in your scripts. Yeah, when you're in the script, you want your scripts to be stopping when the errors happen. So now in this function, we do two things. For one, we will just run, and as we can see, it ran happily working. And now we will throw an error. So as we can see at this point, we threw an error and the actual code and actually stopped execution. We never hit that part. So now we have a terminating error. And what can we do to handle it? We can use a try catch block. Try catch block is the way to tell that this is the code I'm trying, and this is what I want you to do in the case the error happens. So catch block only happens when there is actually an error. Otherwise it gets ignored. So as we can see now, you can see, well, that doesn't work, that happened. So catch did interrupt this code, yeah? And if I remove the throwing parameter, then the catch never works. So that's the way how you can handle errors. So when we have errors, we might need to, well, do something about them. We want to, for example, look inside the error. So what we can do? Let's just create one. So at this point, we created an error. And I can, in PowerShell 7, it's only in PowerShell 7, have a lovely commandlet called getError, which will then actually break down the error object. If we don't have it, if you are on Windows PowerShell, then you can just investigate error object, and those are just few properties that I found useful. And finally, handling the application's errors, because application errors rely on exit codes. So PowerShell by default, we understand that exit code 0 is a success and any other is a failure, which we know might be a true, might not. So let's, for example, look at the Git here. As we can see, I have Git installed. And if I do LastExitCode, I have exit code 0. But then if I do this part, we can see that that command doesn't exist. And at this point, the exit code is not